Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Brownsville Matters. I'm your host, Dr. W.F. Strong, and this morning we're talking fireworks. From Big Chief Fireworks, we have Jonathan Gonzalez, who has been in the business since he was probably old enough to hold a punk.
Yes,
is that
sir.
right?
Yes, sir, it is.
And your family's been in the business back to the 50s.
1957. Yes, sir.
I believe you said that your grandfather was Mr. G?
He was not. He was, his name is Abel Gonzalez, but his brother was Mr. G.
His brother was Mr. G,
yeah.
Okay.
But
your grandfather's brother was Mr. G.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
And he was Gonzalez, so that's where the G comes from, Mr.
Yes.
G.
Yes, sir. All the firework.
Today he'd be a rapper with that name, Mr. G.
Yeah. No, we've...
well, how did he get into the business?
My grandfather?
I mean, Mr. G, how did he get into the business? Do you know?
Through my grandfather. When my grandfather kind of wanted to pivot into construction business, he told his brother, and they were already doing it at that time, but solely just to fully take over their thing. But they've been very, very successful in the valley for the last...
Oh, yes, they're everywhere.
Yeah, they're everywhere. Mm-hmm.
Did he invent the fireworks stands that are so mobile you can just kind of move them around?
Yeah, that was how they started. I remember there's pictures of my grandfather with all his brothers and the family back in the days in the 50s and the 60s. They had a 80-foot stand over here by Military Road, and it was like an L shaped, and they all ran it all together. But that's how they started, and then they started pivoting off the brothers into their own companies. So there's Valley Fireworks, which is another one, Texas G, Big G's, Mr. G's, and we're Big Chief.
I see. So you were a fireworks mafia. You had a big family involvement across the spectrum.
Yep, there's enough for everyone, and we all love it, and we're all in it together.
But you only really have 2 big days, right?
Right now, yeah, 2 big seasons.
You got 2 big seasons. You got obviously, and which one is bigger, July 4th or New Year's?
Well, for us, it's New Year's here. 4th of July in the Midwest and all across the United States, 4th of July is our major season. For us, it's New Year's here because I think the demographics different here in the valley. A lot of people go to the island. They celebrate different. They see the firework displays. But people do come and purchase, but not as frequent as like New Year's, actually celebrating their New Year's season.
Sure. Yeah. Well, also, you've got a lot of times it's dry July 4th.
Very.
And so sometimes cities and counties put restrictions on things around that time. I know cities often do. They often have a moratorium. Not often, but sometimes.
Very much so, and that's always a crucial thing for us is weather. Weather permitting. If it's too dry, I mean, it's hard to sell even certain items. We won't be able to sell, like bottle rockets, Roman candles, small things that take off. And
you can't sell them, or people won't buy them?
Well, if the county or anyone puts restrictions on those items, we won't be allowed to sell them.
Okay, I got you.
And then during New Year's, it's wet. If it's raining, it's wet and cold. It's very different for us there.
And do the fireworks get manufactured primarily in China? As all the long history of China and fireworks, they still come from there.
100%.
100%.
100%.
Nobody else does it?
Not anywhere else.
Wow, you would think that
in Europe they do. In Europe they do some stuff, but it's very different than the laws. That to get that product over here, it's easier to get it from China on a ship into a container, into the port, and then to their distributors, and then the distributors to us. So it's a whole different chain of things going on there.
I would think that there would be some incredible accidents at sea from time to time, with a whole container full of fireworks. You got to have an accident once in a while.
For sure. Or it gets lost at sea. I can only imagine. But from what we know, and everything does get here 100%.
Yeah, it gets here, yeah. Well, you were telling me off the air about in Mexico they were trying to manufacture them, and then they had the big accident.
Yeah, there was a time for a while where they were seeing if they could manufacture fireworks in Mexico and get them here to the U.S. easier, so it would be easier on shipping from China instead of just get it across the border. But they put a kind of hold on that, and the government and we fall into the same thing as ATF, alcohol, tobacco, firearms, and explosives. So it's very...
So the ATF comes around to your stands?
No, they do not.
They don't?
No, but we fall in that same category because we are explosives, and we do sell explosives.
What's I suppose there's some limit to, this is the most powerful explosive you can sell. There's some limit, I suppose.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
there's a 5-inch, so an artillery shell, right? They're your reloadables. So the max limit is 5 inches, and it can only have up to 60 grams of black firepower in it.
Those are the ones that kind of like a mortar shell that you put in there.
Put in there and light up and go.
Yeah, I love those.
Legal for consumer that we could sell, yeah. But they, like the ones they use for bigger displays, those are bigger display mortars. They go into 3 to 10 inch. That's pretty massive.
That is massive. Well, I always buy those. I always buy about 15 of those that go very high and have a nice display in the sky at the end of them.
Yeah, that's our number one seller. And for us here at Big Chief, we have over 70 different types of artillery shells that you could come in and buy, all the way from your small little stick ones with just a small festival ball all the way to your 6-inch, your max legal load that you can buy.
But I always have to nail down the launcher.
Yeah, that's very...
I've had it tip over and shoot right into my porch one time.
Yeah, that's a very crucial thing, because those things knock over, it's not fun.
No, you can really definitely hurt somebody with that. So I'm usually I live on the edge of Resaca, so I just kind of nail it down on the edge of the dock.
Yeah.
And it's very stable then. And then I intelligently have my son go light it.
Yeah, they're also developing a new artillery shell. We were just in Kansas for, they call it fireworks shootouts, right?
Uh-huh.
So we go see the new products that are coming out for 2024, and we met this man from Australia. His family has been in the firework business for over 270 years. He's developed a new...
270 years, yeah. Wow.
Now he lives in China, in Beijing, and he's one of the main guys that does all the displays there in China. Everything that you see, those big ones, he does all that. But he developed an artillery shell that instead of putting it in the mortar, it's just a single, it looks like that. The mortar, you just put it on the ground, and it has 4 holes, so you can nail it in, and it takes off like that. So that's about to be a game changer in our business. Wow. Instead of buying the pack of 24 12s or 6s, you're going to be able to just buy that small singular one and just light it off, and it goes on its own. But those are really cool, and they come in 30 millimeter and 45 millimeter, different sizes, but they're really cool.
Well, I'm fascinated with the idea of a fireworks, convention, so to speak, because I guess you have to go at night so you can see how these things show up in the night sky.
They're pretty much an all-day event, so they're like expos with the companies. We currently buy from about 5 companies, and we try to hit up everyone every year to go see in Kansas. All our stuff is in Kansas, and some in Texas. They're an all-day thing. You see all the new items. We talk about the business. They have a demonstration of how the business is going, where we can project to see sales, and what can we get from China this year, and what they to let us know what's going on. But it's an all-day thing, and at the evening, we do get to all sit down in the bleachers, sit down with our papers, and see all the new products and rate them 1 to 5. Write our notes. Is it too loud? Is it too short? Is it good enough for the consumer?
How fascinating.
It's a real process, and
Well, in all of these sorts of trade shows, there's whining and dining that goes on and freebies given. And so how do they do that there? What are the sorts of crazy things they do to get your business?
So when you get there, free shipping. So shipping's a huge thing, right? It's coming on 18-wheelers from Kansas all the way to over here. If you're at the expo, if you're there and you sign in, your company is registered to win free shipping for the rest of the year. So it'd be 4th of July and New Year's, and that's a major cost off of company.
That's huge.
And they have free things to give away. I mean, really cool, unique collectible items that the companies have each year. And I mean, me personally, I have my own collection of stuff that I like to have. Yeah, yes, sir.
Your own collection, you mean things that you like to sell, or things that you keep like in your personal museum of fireworks?
My personal museum of fireworks,
right?
yeah. Certain items that are hard to find, or they're limited runs, or even if you know that, like that man, he developed that. I got his signature on one of the sampler packs, so that's pretty rare for me to have.
Where do you keep it? Where do you keep this?
In my office.
Oh, in your office?
Yeah, in my office at home.
Yeah, it's interesting how lots of people who have been in any industry a long time eventually create a kind of personal museum of artifacts that cover many, many decades, really. The best of, the most interesting of.
Yeah, and the most rare stuff that you can find. If it's patches or stickers or something unique, that's all part of it.
Like not long ago, I was in a shop that was kind of novelty place, and it was interesting to me that I would see certain things and I'd say, well, I say, how much is that? That's fascinating. A Frankenstein doll, let's say. And then they say, oh, that's not for sale. That's the owner's collection. And it seemed like about 5 things I found in there that I was interested in. Oh, that's not for sale. That's the owner's collection.
Yeah, I know a few places like that. I'm like that. I walk in. How much is that? No, it's not for sale. It's like, then why do you have it?
Then why do you have it up?
I want
Put
that.
it in your home,
But everything in our store is for sale.
Everything. Yeah. Oh, and well, let's talk about that. You don't at this moment. I don't know for sure, but you have the big store.
Yes, sir. We started with 4 storage containers. So most of the stands that you do see around the valley are wood. And,
right.
And when we started the business, this is actually this 4th of July will be our 10-year anniversary. We're really happy about it. It's been a long road.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of work, blood, sweat, and tears from all across my family. My brother, my sister, my parents, my brother-in-law, everyone. We're a family business. It's just Big Chief is mainly my family. My dad is the big chief, and we started with 4 storage containers. We all had a container, each of us, and we slowly grew all across the Brownsville region. And our goal was always to have a warehouse.
Yeah.
And when we started talking about a warehouse, it was the right time and the right place to do it. So we developed our warehouse, and we have the biggest warehouse here in South Texas, south of San Antonio. It's about 8,900 square feet. 8,900 square feet. So it's pretty big.
Very big.
We have over 900 unique items in there that you can come and buy, and the best prices. We're not too competitive. We're just right, and trying to give a bang for everyone, a bang for their buck. If you have the family, literally. But I mean, when those storage containers, it's hot in July.
Oh yeah.
And in Christmas, it's cold. But it's a blessing so much to be in a warehouse now. And we have 10 containers now and a superstore. So
when you talk about the containers are what you place along a highway to sell directly to the public?
Yes, sir. Out of city limits,
okay.
Of course.
So you have that, and then you also have the main store. And you, as a customer, I can go either place.
Either place, and the prices are exactly the same.
Okay. What are your big items? What do you sell mostly?
Artillery shells. Well, we have over 13 categories. So it'd be assortment packs, right? That's your go grab bag. Hey, that has your tanks, your chickens, your Roman candles, a little fountain.
Yeah.
And then they have the big assortment. We have assortment packs that are from $5.99 all the way to $1,000. Yeah. The big ones.
Yeah.
And they don't play around.
They don't play around. Well, and then we were talking about the bottle rockets now are really big. They're not the little ones that we used to use by the hundreds, it seemed.
No.
And then you get to tying them together and doing crazy stuff.
We have like Texas legal bottle rockets. That's what we call them.
That's what we call them.
Texas legal, and then they get all the way from, they have to be 8 inches, the certain where it pops, and then the stick has to be over 13 inches long. But they go all the way. We have bottle rockets that are, I want to say, 32 inches long. They're pretty massive, and they have big, like an artillery, like a mortar on it, and it goes up and it pops pretty cool. Nice display.
My greatest challenge really is always finding a launcher that I can trust. I mean, even because the sticks on those bottle rockets so long, I got to make sure I get a long launcher so things aren't tipping over. And and then the Roman candles are interesting too because I think at least for me, I'm always a little afraid of them because I've had experience with them discharging backwards.
Yeah, it's a common problem.
So I always tell my kids, hold them out, hold them out this way. Don't hold it right in front of you.
So like bottle rockets, we're starting to. I'm starting to develop a rocket launcher or like a rocket launcher, right? So it's going to be a 2x4s with chicken wire, and the rocket will fit perfectly in the chicken wire. I'll sell that at the store. That's coming to the store.
This year?
This year, yeah, it's coming this year,
cool.
and you'll be able to put as many rockets in it. It'll be stable enough where you can stake it into the ground and launch it safely instead of putting in a bottle or a Coke can or something. A lot of people put them in the mortar shells.
Yeah, I do that.
Yeah.
I do that. But if I don't happen to have a mortar shell, I'm looking for a very tall bottle.
Yeah,
or
but even that
something.
thing can knock off when
Yeah.
it starts taking off, and that's a problem.
So that's good. I'm glad you're creating. Now, are you going to make your own fireworks one day?
I would love
You
to.
manufacture your own?
That
be
would
the first in the United States.
we wouldn't be the first in the United States, but it would be really cool. That's definitely a goal of ours to start manufacturing our own artillery shells and rockets. That's definitely in the plan, and that's our next goal. That was my next goal after the warehouse. Right, my family, we've always seen what can we do to develop our own brand, but just for us,
Yes.
not to sell to anyone else, but just to have for our namesake in our store, a Big Chief artillery shell or a mortar.
Oh, but you won't sell it?
Yeah, we'll sell it.
You'll sell it.
But not out to other companies, just for us.
Just for you, for the local market.
Yes, sir.
That you would service. There must be a nightmare of red tape to get permission to manufacture firearms. I mean, not firearms, fireworks.
There is a lot of rules and laws, and especially us, we're always about safety and following all the rules. That's very important to our company and my family, following along with that. But if it falls in our parameters when the time is right, we're definitely going to do it. We're not going to hold up on it. But it's also buying the whole container from China.
Yeah. Well, it makes me, I remember this guy interviewed once, Bill Bass, who was considered the father of CSI. He's the one who started this science of investigating murders and accidents and things, and learning what happened and tracing DNA and all of that. And one of the things, he was always hired by insurance companies to investigate accidents to figure out what happened. And especially because the insurance companies, they don't want to pay, if there's fraud involved and all of that. But he investigated one that was illegal fireworks operation that went bad, and 5 or 6 people died in the explosion.
Yeah, it's a common it happens.
But here's the thing that blew my mind, pardon the pun, is that there was a guy who was mixing up the explosive paste, you might say, in a big bucket. And he decided that to mix it really well, he would use a blender.
Oh, no.
A handheld blender.
That's very reckless.
And
that's what caused it?
And it sparked.
Yeah.
And boom, like a bomb went off, and people were projected through the top of the barn, and it was just horrific.
Yeah, that happens. And
yeah.
It can be anything. So we're actually getting into the pyro business. I'm getting my pyro license, so I'll be able to do display shows. Like we're going to be doing the BISD graduations this next week. But even like that, the tools that I have to use are brass. There's certain non-sparking tools because you use one little thing. You go in and pull it back out, sayonara, you're gone. And that's very dangerous. You can lose a hand, you can lose a life. And you have to be safe, very safe.
It is very dangerous in the manufacturing of, no doubt.
Yeah, of course.
And then, of course, when you're doing display fireworks, you're using more powerful fireworks. So like if I make a mistake with a bottle rocket, I'm going to, get a little stinger, maybe a little burn. But you make a mistake with those big ones, like you say, you lose a hand.
Yeah, even a mortar. So like you said, we are actually going to be doing most of our pyro shows with consumer-grade fireworks that you can buy from our shows, or from our store, and that we're going to be using in our shows. So the BISD shows, they're all going to, I personally choreographed and color coordinated the shows to go with the schools. So Hannah's gold, Pace is green, Betts is red, white, and blue, Porter's got blue and silver, But it's taken a lot of time like that, and it takes a lot of research and seeing the mortar shells and taking them from their packaging, wiring them up specifically.
Do you get a computer program that runs that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so it tells you where to put what, more or less? You have a pattern?
Yeah, I follow it's a pattern, like it's choreographed. So I put input on my information, and then I'll start picking and choosing where it's going to go and what queue system. So we use a queue box, right?
Right.
1 through 18, and each mod, that's what we call mods. So when you put them in their box, this mod will have 1 to 2 will be this green and silver, peony with the chrysanthem, all different.
So it's number painting in the sky.
Exactly what it is, and making a beautiful show and a display for everyone to see.
Very cool.
It takes a lot of work, and it's a lot of time on the computer, and to shoot, if it's 2 minutes or 10-minute show, whatever we do, it's really fun. We do enjoy it.
How long does it take to set it up?
At the beginning, when we were first doing it, it took us a while because we were learning. But now, from wiring takes about a good 5 to 7 hours.
Wow, it's a long time.
A long time, and then out there at the shows, we can get it down to like 30 minutes to set up. And taking it down takes 5 minutes because there's nothing left.
There's nothing there.
There's nothing there. Just picking up the mess and making sure the fires are put. If there's a fire in the box, or making sure all the trash is picked up.
Once when I was a kid, I was out at Galveston Island on July 4th, and they were having a big fireworks display show at that pier that goes out into the ocean there. It's an old pier where I think the Galvez Hotel was on that pier. So it was out at the end of that pier. And something went wrong, and one of the explosives came back down into the pile of fireworks that they were using, and everything started going off. It was like what you see in a war zone. When the mortar shell comes down in the stash.
That's scary.
And what I remember mostly is people jumping off the pier. They just started jumping off the pier into the ocean, which was probably the best option, I would think.
Yeah, because some of those fireworks, they do carry their fallout radius, right? So when they do explode, they have certain, like the bigger ones, they do have that ash that will tend to fall down. And if it starts a fire or even goes back in the show, see you later. That's not fun.
Well, this is 50 years ago, so I'm sure that there have been safety standards put in place that makes it harder for that to happen today.
Yeah, and safety standards on the pyrotech, right?
Right.
How they conduct their shows and how they do it. And it can be the safety standards of how we even operate our business, having fire extinguishers, exit routes, having the pathways clear, nothing that will have them trip. Safety is number one all the time.
Well, what's your advice for children? Because a lot of kids end up getting hurt because they are poorly supervised, or they don't know what they're doing, or they take risks that they shouldn't take. And I know you're not on the medical end of this, but you're in the business, so you're bound to hear of things to know these are the safety protocols that children should follow.
Yeah, of course. And that's one thing that we encourage at our business a lot is teaching kids safety. Having an adult to supervise at all times. Don't hold them in your hands. Please do not hold them. We want you to come back and buy fireworks. We don't want you to burn yourself or get hurt and not like the product or like the tradition, because it's a tradition. Having water nearby, a bucket of water, 5-gallon bucket of water is very crucial. Keeping the pets inside. And just don't hold them in their hands.
Don't hold them in their hands. And that was certainly, we did that in my time. Those black cat, we'd line them and throw them at each other. Really, really stupid, but it's a different time.
Yeah, even this year we're going to do a safety course at our store.
Oh, what a great idea!
Yeah, we're going to have. We opened June 24th this year, and we're going to have probably the first 3. It's going to fall within the first 3 days. We're still working on the timeline on it, but we're going to have the Brownsville Fire Department out there. We're trying to get them out there.
Good.
We're going to do a safety course for kids, free, everything's free, and a display at the end to show. We're going to show new products, but we're going to teach them fireworks safety because that's number one.
What about Roman candles? You can hold those in your hand or not?
You should not.
You should not.
You should not, but people do. I mean, once they...
Well, you have those, what I call the really simple ones that are, I mean, they fire about 3 feet. They just have a little ball that my daughter loves them because they just go just a little bit, and they're colored, different colors.
We have all different types. So
but even those, your recommendation, don't hold them.
Always do not hold a firework in your hand. That's my number one recommendation. We do have simple Roman candles like that 10-ball magical shots that just shoot real quick. And then we have some that have salute shells. They're like firecrackers in them. And then there's some that are pretty big. I mean, we have our biggest one called the Venom shot. And that's a 5-shot.
Wow.
But it's like if you're shooting a mortar out of your hand.
Oh, my God.
It's very, very scary. But I would suggest putting in a
launcher.
In a launcher, and not in a bottle because glass breaks and shatters. You never know. If one, like you said, one of those things falls back and explodes midway. But don't hold it in their hand.
Well, is there a holder for the Roman candle? Is there something that you would use? You don't want to put it in your hand. Then what do you use?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I wouldn't. Sure, someone's can develop something one day.
That's what. There
Some
you go.
type of claw.
There's a market for you.
There's a market for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking. You do have these things that you use to pick up trash.
The pickers, the claw.
Yeah, the claw. Like that would be a good way to do
Keeping it a good
be safe.
2-3 feet away from your hands.
It's a good idea. But you could probably develop a product that's specifically, designed to hold a Roman candle.
I like that idea. I might have to think of that in my workshop and get that together.
It could have when it collapses.
Yeah,
you just pull it
comes out and it has where it can hold the hole right there.
Yeah. See, we've invented a $1 million product right now.
Very Shark Tank.
Very Shark Tank. Yeah, you could sell it right there at the shop to nervous moms. So you need this.
Yeah.
Only $25.
Yeah, we're also developing a artillery shell launcher. I mean, they do sell them. You can find them online. So it's like the tubes, right?
Yeah.
But instead of just buying the one tube, it'll have a 6-rack, 12-rack, 24-rack. So you don't even have to. If you buy the one pack, it has 4 in there.
Right.
But you buy our launcher, it'll have the 6, 8, and you can just load your artillery. You could probably do your own little display at home when you like to.
But how are you going to get them lit in the proper sequence? Because
fuses.
I mean the fuses are long. That's nice, but how would you light them all at once and get out of the way?
So we have they sell fuse tie-ins. So they're kind of like a T, and you just like a simple plastic clamp. You put the fuses together and you clamp them in. So once they start lighting, if you start this way, it'll start
just
ignite.
Do the next one.
It'll do the next one. But
very cool. I had no idea that existed.
You have slow fuses. You have You have a fuse that can burn 4 feet in 0.5 seconds. It can, and there's slow fuse that will burn 5 feet in 40 seconds. So take its time. There's all different types of stuff, and we have that at the store. You can purchase right now. I mean, come the season, we have slow fuse, fast fuse. And I have my own personal stash of fuse. If people really do need some, I just grab it and give it to them.
You remind me of the old Westerns when they were going to blow something up, and the fuse would take forever. and then sometimes it would go, you would see it burning really fast in terms of the film. You see it burning really fast. And so it should have exploded within 3 seconds, but they managed somehow to stretch it out into a 5-minute sequence. And you keep waiting for this thing to blow up, and it's exceptionally slow fuse, I guess, in real life within the film.
Yeah, I've seen those. Those are classics.
To get the cliffhanger. So what do you expect this July 4th? I mean, it's pretty dry right now, but we're still 5 weeks out. So what's the long-range forecast?
Long-range forecast. We need rain.
Yeah.
We need winds to slow down a little bit.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about the wind. The wind's a killer, isn't it?
Wind's a killer, yeah. If the rules are, should be less than 20 mile per hour gusts, or sustained 20 mile per hour. 25 is really pushing it. But dry, we need some rain, but we're looking okay right now. Everything should be good. We have plenty of items in stock. All different types of stuff. Some items are starting to fade out. We can get into that in a little bit.
Yeah.
But we're looking good. All permits are go. Store's almost ready. We're going to be open on Friday, by the way, for Memorial
okay.
Weekend.
Okay.
Yeah. We passed it with the county. Now we can. So you said at the beginning, the first the big seasons was
Right.
4th of July and New Year's. Now we have Texas Independence Weekend, Cinco de Mayo, San Jacinto Day, Memorial Weekend, Diwali. We've got these new seasons, but we need to educate the community on it.
I didn't know.
Yeah,
I didn't know. I thought you just had 2 days, and I thought, 2 seasons, and I thought those were the only legal seasons, because I have even gone on Christmas morning to try to buy fireworks, and no, I don't know if Christmas morning, but the day after.
Christmas
I think
Eve.
New Year's Day you can't buy fireworks, right?
Yeah, we can.
You can?
Our season runs from December 20th to January the 1st. We can actually sell after the New
You can
Year's.
sell on July 1st. You can sell on July 2nd.
Yes, sir.
January.
January 1st, yeah.
Can you buy them on July 5th?
No, you cannot.
You cannot.
July 4th is the last day at midnight.
Okay. Somewhere in the last 10 years, I remember going on the day following the big night.
Yeah.
And it may have been July 5th that I was doing it, but I was going to try to buy some fireworks because my kids said, well, I ran out, want some more. And they said, no, we can't sell today.
No, they can't. On July 5th,
But on New Year's Day, you can?
Yeah, January 1st. And that's a great day to go in and buy fireworks. It's discounted.
Discount them?
Discounted. Yeah, discounted. Trying to get some product out and clean up. And our crews are always in full blast for the fireworks. Is about 2 hard months of work for us leading up and after.
So like 3 o'clock on New Year's Day is a good time to get a good deal.
Oh, yeah. That's the perfect time to come in. You find us cleaning up and reorganizing items and
you don't want to have to take them back home, right?
Yeah, or repackage them and put them in storage, or even the loose items. Those are their best discounted items. But we try to get away from that discounted item.
I had a student of some years ago who he did it kind of as a side hustle, you might say. He would work, I don't know if he leased a stand or if he worked for somebody, but anyway, he ran a stand.
Yes, sir.
And he ran it just for his family, and he ran it twice a year, the big seasons, as you say. But he told me, he said, oh, yeah, he said, I can make like 3 months' wages, running that store in that season.
Yeah.
He said, I can make a really good income. He said, I can make almost half a year's income for me, matching my other job, running those stands.
Yes, sir. We do. We do lease out some of our stands. Right now, most of our stands are ran by family members, and we find the kids to come in and run them. So we usually use.
Well, maybe he's talking about that.
Yeah.
Maybe he worked for you.
Could have been. I never know. But we do give them a percentage, and they have to be like the storage containers. You can close them at the end of the night. These other stands that are the wood ones, and you have to stay there the whole season.
Oh.
And ours, we close the doors down. They're completely sealed.
Good point. Yeah.
It's theft proof.
Yeah, yes, theft proof. That's right.
If you
unless
try
they
to
bring in a mighty big truck
or a torch or something, but you're gonna blow yourself up trying to get into our stands or saw. It's gonna be dangerous.
Yeah, that's good.
But yeah, they do. All our people that run our stands or work for us love to come back. We treat everyone well. Everyone is exceptional at the business. We educate them how to sell the fireworks. This is what the products are new. This is how to sell this. And everyone enjoys it. It's fun because you get to hang out with your friends and your family, and you make some good money.
Must be complex accounting, though.
It very much
track
is.
of everything because there's so many people. It's so you remember when you used to watch the stock market in action when people would be buying and selling in the stock market and there's crowds. That's the way sometimes it is in the crush of the season. You got 5-6 customers at once and you're trying to deal with all of them.
Oh man, you're telling me.
You've been there, right?
I've been there. The first years when we were doing it, we were writing them on receipt. I mean, simple receipt writing.
Right.
Hey, they bought 5 tanks, 3 chickens at this price, and then calculate it. And on a calculator, do your taxes. Now we have a very complex system. It's a point of sale system that we work very hard to. We rent them out, but we have all our items in there, and it's as simple as just grabbing the scanner, scanning it,
so you have the
barcodes, scanning them, and it's
QR codes or whatever.
Yeah, the fireworks have QR codes on them now, and you can scan them with your phones and watch videos. That's amazing. You can see before you pop, right? Yeah. But it's gotten that complex for us where it's
wait, let me back this up. I can get the QR code off of a mortar shell, so to speak, and it'll show me what it looked like when I shoot it.
Yes, sir.
Wow,
it's really cool.
That is very cool.
All the way from your small 200-gram cakes to your big 500-gram cakes. Even the rockets have QR codes on them now.
You take Venmo?
We do not. We used to do Square, but we've pivoted away from that. Now we have our point-of-sale system. But it's like that. We know each stand, right? So let's say southernmost. We have a 40-foot container out there. We know exactly what we give them, and we know exactly what they're selling in real time.
But do you take a different pay form based upon where you're selling?
No, sir.
No?
Cash and card.
Cash and card.
No checks, yeah. No.
Apple Pay?
Apple Pay, yeah. There's Apple Pay on the system. So, there actually is Venmo. You're right.
Okay.
I'm rethinking it, but I have it turned off on on the systems right now. Yeah, you can Venmo from our Clover system and send it, but it's just cash and card.
Cash App?
No Cash App.
Because Cash App, I think, is the most used.
It's one of the most used, yes, sir.
I don't know why. I don't know why it's used more than Venmo or Zelle, but it is used a great deal by people around here because I'm an author and I sell books. When I go do talks someplace, I sell a lot of books, and people always want to pay with Cash App. Yes, I'd never even heard of it until people kept asking about it. I said, "Oh, damn, I guess I better take it."
But it's as easy as scanning a QR code, right? Putting it on your thing, and they can pay.
Yeah, it's very fast. That's all I do is put my QR code for Cash App, and they copy it. And so it's a brave new world.
It is. It's interesting.
Well, listen, thanks a lot for coming in. I hope that we can get this on the air before. I'm sure we can, right? We get on the air before July 4th. Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm going to come buy some stuff.
Come on by.
I want those sequenced mortar shells that I can.
No, for sure. And just a quick thing, it's our 10-year anniversary.
Yeah.
We've worked very hard to be where we're at these last 10 years. And my family, all of us here at Big Chief Fireworks, we're very grateful for the community here in Brownsville. We're trying to become a household name here. And it's as simple as me
Big
wearing
Chief.
my shirt and coming on this podcast. Thank you guys for inviting me. I really appreciate it. But we're coming back in time right now. So our prices are going to go back in time 10 years.
Oh.
That's going to be a huge thing. It's going to be for a short amount of time, but we're working on it right now very hard to make it affordable for people to come buy fireworks at a great discounted price. So imagine Excalibur's 10 years ago, the prices were $69.99. We might be back there soon for a few days.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool for the community. We're going to really push it hard.
Thanks for watching this BSPA video. Go ahead and hit like and subscribe if you like what you see. And if you really like what you see, go ahead and go to our website, brosoperformingarts.org, and smash the donate button. And then we'll really like you too.